Hi, my name is MB Makandili.
Hi, my name's Johan Daniel Apolonio, but you can call me Johan.
Yo, I'm Dan Baniket. You can call me Dan.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
Hi, I'm Sebastian M. Naling, but you can call me Basti.
Hello, I am Bernardo Javier. You can call me Nick.
And hi, my name is Brian. We're Group 2 from De La Salle University, and we would like to talk the issue about how you balance your personal life and academic workload. So, as students, we have our personal life, of course, but we really have to balance our academic workload to achieve this personal achievement. And to start off, I think for me, mahirap mag-school if you're not mentally okay. Like, based from my personal experience, you can focus enough if you have hard days or if you are suffering from depression or anxiety. We all reach to that point na tatamarin talaga tayo to go to school because we're not mentally okay. Like, of course, we struggle sa house or like we struggle with the personal life. So, our classmates won't even notice it, or if they notice it, of course they would give some company or reassurance that they are just there. So that's why it is really important na there's a sense of company which aligns with the value of community of mission, like how we bond together in fulfilling the mission brought to us by the common calling. So by having faith in God, it is about letting go and believing that he has my back. So based from my personal experience, I have been able to go to school na hindi ako okay before. Pero now, like now that I've inayos ko yung sarili ko, I started to see some change in me and as well as my surroundings. So di ko in-expect that God will really show that me the answers silently. Like you won't see it agad-agad, but in the process, you would be able to see the results. May kita mo na, okay, there's a purpose why God is letting you experience this or like why you are struggling with this. And in terms of academics, like the virtues of wisdom and zeal is really important because with the wisdom, you have the ability to discern and you will have this knowledge in terms of like discerning which is right or not. And with the zeal, virtues of being zeal is like being able to challenge conventional wisdom. So for the sake of excellence and continuous improvement. Like what I said, have times na wala talaga tayo, like outs, all out. Pero as time passes by, we have this feeling na nag improve tayo every single day. And this experience teaches us to be a better person. So with that, I am really happy that I am in the phase of like, okay na yung mental health ko. So that therefore, mental health is really important. Like dapat maging priority talaga ang mental health with everything because our mind is really powerful. And once na maging okay to, we can help others naman na who's struggling. Of course, we have different lives. So as students, our purpose is to finish our school, and as a graduating student next year, a big accomplishment for me na I reached agad and I'm studying here in De La Salle University. So yeah, who's next now?
So I totally agree with you, MB, with regards to valuing one's mental well-being. Uh, I myself, coming from the online setting and returning back to face-to-face, it's very important to keep one's mental self in check. Um, because during my senior high years, that's when the pandemic started, and it was challenging at most when it comes to learning new things and ideas and topics in an online setting. And admittedly, when I was experiencing online classes during my grade 11, grade 12 years, I realized then that I am, what do you call this? I'm not as intellectually gifted among my peers, and it has caused me to to feel much more down and depressed, which followed along into my first year as a freshman. Uh, Now's my second term, but during my first term, it was still an online setup, and I felt hopeless at times, and it caused me to shun away from my studies for a moment. I didn't really seek help that much, which was my biggest mistake, and that led me to uh, fe- to having my first sense of downfall in college life. It was only when I asked the help of others, especially my parents and my close friends, that I was able to realize that everything doesn't just come in one sitting in a synchronous session or just one term. Uh, from being a Lasallian, the virtue that I learned from this experience is patience.
Mhm.
Patience in a way that, like I said, everything comes in time, and just because you failed once doesn't mean that you're going to fail for the rest of your college days, and that in turn empowers your virtue of wisdom. In wisdom, you will understand you understand where you've gone wrong and how you can improve yourself on it, both as a Lasallian, as a student, or as a friend, or any other roles that you wish to cherish. And with keeping wisdom and patience in mind, it strengthens one's Lasallian virtue of being reserved. And in being reserved, you become you hone yourself in order to have the mental capacity in order to face any challenges that comes your way. Well, that's it for me, at least. I'm actually curious what to hear from you guys.
Hey, that's such a good experience and realization, Johan. And who's next now?
Oh,
Let's
that would be me.
done. Okay, let's hear it
So,
from
for me, I'd like to state that academic work isn't really exclusively unpleasant. So, for me, I'm a I took the game developer course. I like coding in general, and I appreciate the challenge, even if it's not a grade requirement. So, I especially like it because I get to collaborate and debate with others in my batch who are just as passionate about coding as me, right? So there's also subjects like the NSTP, National Service Training course. Um, in there, you choose one of three options. I choose the Literacy Training Service course. Now, for context, during the pandemic, I know we've all gone through some things, and like Johan said, the quality of education, I think I also agree that dropped a bit. So I had to um, teach my sisters so that they can understand their lessons better, and I actually found it fun to teach them. Right, so um, during the literacy training service course, it was advertised as being able to teach others basic math and English and Filipino and stuff. So it's nice to be able to provide assistance to others in need, thanks to the LTS course that I took. So as a Lasallian, I think they would be pious about this in a way that like they would be duty bound to the Lasallian mission, not just for academic grades and for other people, but to develop personal connections and to develop their own personal well-being as well. But what about you guys?
That will be me. So, for me, balancing the academic work and the personal well-being is, of course, a hard thing to do. For me, if you can, if you believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, then you could probably do your person. You could probably fulfill your task. But it's another story if in your mind that you can do it. I have faith in yourself. I can do it. But your body says otherwise, then I think that you should listen to your body, because first of all, health comes first. It's always for me, it's always what do you call this? Parang ano siya, kung hindi mo kung hindi mo kaya gawin ng isang task, uh, but your mind says that you can do it, then you'll have a really hard time to finish your work. This kind of happened to me back then when in NOP. Uh, of course that I have a hard time solving problems in one of my activities there. So what I did is step back and reflect on myself and calm down. And through that, I was able to clear my mind from my mental block and my what do you call this? Sorry if your mind says that you can do it, but your body can't. It's like you should listen to your body because health always comes first. Because if your body can't handle these tasks, then of course you will not be able to finish your work. It will be really hard for you to finish it, and maybe that will also result in a sloppy work. And this it's also true the same way around. If mentally you can't do it but your body is fine, you should also still listen to your mind, because that also happened to me back then. And if you guys know NOP, it's like common or something, but it's kind of more relaxed. So during that time, there was like one activity there, like answering a math booklet there. I was trying to answer them, but I had a mental block. I really had a mental block. I can't answer a simple 3 plus 7 question. And that really put me down. So what the teacher did is made me step back. She made me play in the playground for a few minutes, and then she called me back. And because of that, being stepped back, I reflected on what was happening around me. So because of that, I actually my mind was now clear, and I was able to answer those questions, like the simple 3 plus 7. um, there's It's also a thing that to believe in others too. There's always people that will help you no matter what. Like my dad always says, na matuto ka maging walang hiya. Something like that. Don't have shame in asking in other people, because there's nothing really bad in doing that. You're just helping other people. You're just asking other people to help you so you could finish your task, help you with your well-being too. It's also important to have faith in God. Even if you can't finish your work, always trust that there is always an opportunity that God will provide for you. But always remember that even if there's an opportunity, you also have to take action. Be responsible with the what do you call this? The work that you do. You should also be where was I again?
Yeah, so workload.
So workload. You should also be responsible with your workload. Kahit hindi mo matapos yan, it's not the end of the world. Remember that there's always another chance for you to do it. But remember that you should owe up to it. And remember that you should learn from that mistakes. And through that, applying the Lasallian virtues, you should have wisdom to learn from those mistakes and try to improve yourself. There's also the silence, like what I mentioned before, that you should if things go too fast for you, you should always step back and reflect. And through that, you could probably have your mind clear, you'll be calmed down, and in the next time you do your work, you could probably have a clear picture on your journey. Okay, that's all.
Okay, that's such a nice insight, Matthew. Like I totally agree with what you said, especially with the mind, that you really have to take breaks. And for you, Bernardo and Basti, what are your thoughts with Matthew's insight?
Okay, so personally, I have something of an issue regarding workload, but I'll get to that later. So, based on what everyone said, I too have to agree with how mental health greatly affects on how we or how one balance personal life and academic workload. So me personally, being an computer engineering student, of course I have to I have to incorporate different equation to let MATLAB and learn new programming language. And of course, I'm constantly bombarded with many school requirements. Um, and I have not been able to balance my personal life and studies well. It's more it's more tilted to the academic studies since just what I said, I am constantly bombarded with school requirements. So I have no time for well, not no time, but I have little time to balance my personal life. So sometimes it's hard to cope up with the school requirements that I'm tempted to not just finish it or submit an inept one. So well, given that I'm now studying at LaSalle, which is I guess not much transition from studying from Don Bosco, but since I'm now a college LaSalle student, I have a much greater responsibility to fulfill my duties as a student. So, well, given with the new college, given that I'm now a college student, I'm now given with a new, um, new opportunity to incorporate on what I have learned in LCLS1's class. So I have learned that patience and prudence are applicable to the theme or the issue, as patience to overcome the given problem at hand, and prudence for steering clear from temptation and to discipline oneself to fulfill the task at hand. Much to what Matthew had said. Okay, so Mick, do you have any insight on what everyone said? And
Ah,
everyone had said?
I agree dun sa sinabi mo na bilang college students tayo, yung workload nag-greatly increase eh. Kumpara sa mga previous years, lalo na dito tayo nag-aaral sa Lasal. Very privileged tayo and meron tayong sinastrive for na excellency. May aim natin palagi sa makakuha ng high grades. And importante makakuha ng high grades syempre kasi we're years away from working na. And syempre magre-reflect yun sa uh, uh, work ethic natin. And sometimes sa amidst all of this workload, nakakalimutan natin yung katawan natin actually. Like, nakalimutan natin alagaan. Minsan, di na tayo kumakain para lang matapos yung ibang assignments. Minsan, nagpupuyat tayo, natutulog para lang matapos yung ibang projects. And kailangan din natin malimutan yung mga ganong bagay. Kasi tulad ng sabi ni Matthew na health nga is important. And tulad din ito ng sinasabi ng or tinuturo sa ibang schools na ang katawan natin is temple of God. Kaya importante na ma-maintain natin yung katawan natin kasi ito nga ay temple ni God. And one way na ma-maintain natin to, yun yung way na papakita natin kay God na we value yung relationship natin sa Kanya. So, how about you, Brian? What are your insights?
Hello. And so maganda yung sinabi ni Nick. Para sa akin naman kasi ang faith, sobrang importante niyan. Kasi, when it comes to balancing and your academic and your personal life, I mean, importante yan. Kasi, let's be honest, lahat kasi tayo dito as students, may mga napagdadaanan or mapagdadaanan. Sabi mo nga, di ba, kailangan, depende sa goal mo yan. Dapat achiever ka, dapat as students, di ba, naghihirap tayo para may ma-achieve tayo. Kasi nga, lasal tayo, so dapat achiever, ganyan. Lagi yan. So, sa ganong sitwasyon, there would always eventually come a time na mahihila ka na sobrang madadown ka or mahihirapan ka. So, mahalaga talaga yung faith. Hindi lang sa sarili mo, dapat may faith ka rin kay God para may guidance ka, para ma-achieve mo lahat ng goals mo sa buhay, di ba? Kailangan may pinanghahawakan ka. So, yun sa akin para sa faith. Ayan. So, para naman sa kung paano ko ina-apply ang zeal of service para sa akin is siguro pag-promote ng, ayun din, personal well-being din. So, dapat pinapangalagaan pa rin natin yung buhay natin kahit ganun, may naghihirap tayo. Dapat alam pa rin nating i-balance yung pamumuhay natin as tao, as students, ganun, di ba? Dapat masaya pa rin tayo kahit sa mga ganong sitwasyon. So, ako naman kasi, personally, dapat yung pinapakita nating pangangalaga sa sarili is sinishare din natin sa iba. Kung sa tingin natin, may mga nahihirapan na estudyante katulad natin, di ba? Is dapat, paano ba yun? Parang, turuan mo rin sila kung ano yung mga ginagawa mo. You engage with them, parang, ganito yung ginagawa ko para hindi ako masyadong ma-stress sa ACADS, lumalabas ako, gusto mo bang sumama, ganun. Parang, you let them be part of the way you are living, yung lifestyle mo. Para, yun kasi yung service sa akin eh. Parang natutulungan ko rin yung ibang estudyante kasi alam ko yung napagdadaanan nila. Parang ganun. Yes, di ba?
Yep.
Medyo maganda yung sinabi mo. But, so yung sa podcast na to, I was able to identify some of our personal struggles.
Yeah.
And regarding sa balance of academic work and personal life. May iba't naman tayong na-experience sa all throughout our college life, such as depression and hardship. And well, I guess it teaches us something that we can use in our further in our further reach to our goals. So na-realize ko na may the value of faith. Of course, we can surrender ourselves, especially to Him, especially when we are struggling, and we can share this to others to enlighten others. So, bale, yun yung sa natin, na-test yung lasal ng faith natin, and we can incorporate kung ano yung natutunan natin na mga lasal yung values and virtues doon. So,
Yeah.
ano sa tingin niyo, guys?
Yeah, actually, I agree with you, Bernardo, Don, Brian, Basti, and Matthew. Like all of the insights you've shared, I totally agree with that. And I think as a Lasallian student, this is an opportunity to share this podcast to others. So, para mag-enlighten din sila, they will see the real vision of how to be a Lasallian and how we incorporate these values as a Lasallian student. So that ends our podcast now, and I hope you would like our talk, and I hope you would apply this in your personal life, even if you're not a Lasallian or you're a Lasallian student. So thank you guys. Thank you for sharing your opinions and experiences.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.